you now get to the point where people make certain claims like, we learned Pythagoras theorem, what are we using it for? Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's unfortunate because it's these basics that help us get to building things like apps and so on and so
Yeah.
forth. And even our day to day. But that goes to tell you that there clearly is a gap, right? We are not seeing theory linked with practicality. So you are learning because you want to pass exam.
What's unique about Ghanaian digital communities?
I mean, people are learning to bring out their stuff because
Yeah.
they notice you bring it out, you are getting people to help you make it better. So I think collaboration is really growing a little, and I think it's good to see it grow.
Locally building a community to say that, this is the Ghana EdTech Alliance.
Yeah.
It's a community for us by us. I want you to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's generally there's that first hesitancy.
Yeah.
Who is this person?
Yeah.
What is this thing about?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
It's there. I'm not even going to lie, right?
Yeah.
So you even put the group together. You post something that you found interesting. There was some comments about somebody saying something about technology and how it might not be beneficial for education.
Yeah.
And it will just the group is just quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody comments.
Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome to Building Bytes, where we tell relevant stories about Ghana's tech ecosystem to drive growth and fuel innovation. And this production is brought to you by Insights Lab with support from Hubtel Academy, where we shoot our videos. So we are shooting our videos live in the Hubtel Academy studios. So we are glad to bring to you our conversation today on tech communities and how they impact the world. Having today join us, you introduce the people, but myself, I'm Caleb from Building Bytes host.
My name is Kwame Nyatuame. I'm the president of the Ghana EdTech Alliance.
My name is Shadrack Inusah, and I'm the lead for the Google Developer Groups Accra.
Yeah, and I'm Poga, co-host as well.
All right, so before we get into the conversation, I want you to know that Building Bytes airs on MX24 TV on Thursdays from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. and Sundays from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So you have, two options to catch up on what's happening in Ghana's digital ecosystem. So in today's conversation, we are going to discuss how communities are driving the growth in our digital ecosystem, and glad to have two amazing community builders from the Google Developers Group and the Ghana EdTech Alliance. But before I start with any tensioning question, I want to share or them to tell us who they are and what they do.
Okay, so I'm guessing I'm going first.
Yeah, I think you can go first.
All right, so like I introduced myself earlier, my name is Kwame Nyatuame. I am the president of the Ghana EdTech Alliance. The Ghana EdTech Alliance is really an association of education technology startups and companies in Ghana. We are hitting 30 plus members and counting. I have the privileged opportunity to, be in a position where I typically get calls from 4 to 5 calls a week. From all over the country, people calling to tell me that they've been working on some solution that's supposed to improve education as we know it, i.e. improving learning outcomes, number one, and then number two, improving education administration and delivery as we know it. Really exciting stuff.
Awesome. Sure.
Yeah, so as mentioned earlier on, my name is Shadrack, and then popularly known as Kujo Shady on all the platforms. So I'm actually the lead, as I mentioned, for the Google Developer Groups Accra, and then currently working with Azubi Africa. So at Azubi Africa, I'm also a community manager there for the alumni community. That's where I work officially. Then with the Google Developer Groups community, where we also do technical workshops, trainings, mentorship, and then all other events also in the technical event as well. So that's basically what I do also in the community space.
Awesome. So we know, your role as community leads, it stems from a place of probably an innovation you're driving or a new development happening that you think there should be a movement around it. Maybe we would have thought to go directly into your work, but before we get directly into your work, we want to find out what has been some of the impactful things you've seen communities make on innovation, in the sense that they tend to drive it or they grow people a movement around it. What has been your experience, and if you could share one or two testimonies of people in such space?
So the context I typically like to paint when I have these sorts of conversations is that one of the things my mentor said to me was that when you get into any space, whether you like it or not, there are two things that come to mind, right? If it's great, it's well organized, and things are moving, smoothly, and then you get that feeling like, this is great. It's two things. Number one is leadership, and number two is the people. And if it's the other way around, two is those two people, right? And when you look at our country, right, Ghana is about 68, 69. We have that situation where when you look around, right, we are seeing a situation where a lot of our markets are not organized, a lot of our spaces are not organized. Traffic is an issue. We do not have energy sovereignty. We do not have food sovereignty.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work, right? And a way to, in a sense, ensure that we are birthing a new generation of leaders who are going to put us in a position where we can dominate our environment and ensure it's one that's puts us in a position where all of the people in it thrive and are able to offer meaningful value. It's education, right? Education is that catalyst, and I guess if we judge by what we are seeing in our society and the day to day, it says there's a gap somewhere, right? And so how I think about it is, if we do have technology coming in that is going to, if you like, speed up that process of getting to that quality human resource, that's exciting. That is news that would get me over the moon, right? And I mean, pre-COVID, we had that situation where a lot of schools, and this is across sectors, right? But typically with education, we had that situation where schools were sort of on the fence when it came to getting technology into the classroom. I mean, one of the things to bear in mind is that a lot of the things that we use is technology. So paper is technology, a pen is technology. We moved from using rocks that could stay in the ground to chalk, right? Then from chalk we went to a marker. Then from a marker now we are talking about smart boards. Even before smart boards, there's a projector in the classroom. All of that is enhancing the way education is delivered. And so just to that point, it's more, if we can get technology in there that can speed up the process, that's a great thing, right? And COVID came. COVID really hits the education space really hard. If you had told people some 3 years ago that there'll be a time where nobody's going to go to school, everybody's going to be at home, nobody would have imagined that. And that really exposed the gaps that we had in our system, especially when it came to education. And I want to start from there with that question you've asked. It was, I was fortunate to be in that position where I saw communities coming together. So in our ecosystem, we typically have key players. We have the parents, we have the schools, we have the learners, we have the teachers, right? And then we have policy, government, of course. There was that general panic. Everybody was running helter-skelter, trying to figure out, if the learners are going to be at home, how are we going to ensure that teaching and learning is still going on? And it was, on one hand, very beautiful to see how, in that moment of panic, in that moment of we need to find a solution now, how each of these players that I've mentioned came together to figure out, okay, what tool are we going to use? What are the ones available now? Okay, so now we know that there's Google Classroom. Okay, can we use the Google Classroom? Oh, okay. Is there a way we can begin to use what we have in our hands? So WhatsApp was one of the tools that was like, everybody was jumping on, because I know I can post it, send it to the parents will show it to the kid, and then that will happen. So there was WhatsApp, there was Zoom, there was Google Classroom. Those were the two, if you like, low-hanging fruits that all of these communities came around to, in a sense, leverage on to ensure that teaching and learning came in. Then the government came in with a few programs where they leverage on the television. So there were programs on TV. In other spaces, there was the leveraging of traditional media, so like radio, for example. It was very beautiful to see that, right? But COVID is gone. It seems everybody has gone back to the old ways of doing things. But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, that's one example that has really stuck with me. It was quite interesting to see. Yeah.
Awesome. Shadrack, what about you?
For my side, I mean, I've experienced the same thing as him because we were all here and COVID hit us all together. And also, I mean, the fact that we've been able to adapt this virtual kind of thing. Like right now, everything is virtual. You are working. They said you work online remotely. Right now, you want to have a meeting, and we said we can have the meeting remotely. Yeah. Back then, all these things weren't there. This is something that I really didn't see it coming, and then I thought it was just going to be something for a short while and it will vanish. But it's something that has come to stay, and it's something that is even mind-boggling at the moment. And then you can see a lot of industries are all building upon that. Because he mentioned Zoom, for example. Zoom has advanced on that. I mean, it came and it was a normal stuff, but right now it has gone beyond. The last time I saw it, I was like, wow. Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, they've all advanced. And it's like, this is something that we are stuck to it. And it has also come to stay. It's something amazing and then something surprising to all of us. But yes, this is also something which has also come to stay with us. So we have to adopt it. So it's almost the same. Yeah. Yes, the same thing everywhere, all around.
Yeah. So still on you. I mean, how did the Google developers, is it developers group?
Yeah.
Yeah. Google developers.
Yes, Google developer group.
Yeah, Google developer group. Starts, I mean, for you leading community, what's the genesis story for it?
Okay, so I started leading community back in school.
Okay.
I was in South Shore University College, which was formerly Dominion University College. So don't be surprised. Yes, the name has changed. Oh, okay. Yes, so so yes, it's good I got the name before coming. All right, so yes, I started from there as a community, kind of not that community kind of thing. I was assisting students, my colleagues.
Okay.
I was helping helping them out. And you know, what I was doing was that I was helping people more from the other aspect of the ecosystem, like let's say a business student, a marketing student. Okay. That was what I was doing because I feel like, Charlie, if I'm able to teach this person as a marketing student to build a small website, one day, this person will mention my name somewhere.
Yeah.
So I had that kind of thing in mind. I was learning to also motivate them. And then my first community I joined was Programmers Hub, which was introduced to me by one junior from senior high school. So I joined the community, and then from there I saw a link to become a Google Developer Student Club lead, which is now the Google GDG on campus, which is Google Developer Group on campus. Yeah. Now that's the name. So I became a lead for my campus, where I was having the training weekly and all that. I was very active. So in 2020, I was very active then. I was going for events. I was at DevFest 2019 as an attendee.
Okay.
Yes, I was there as an attendee and not even a volunteer. I was an attendee just among them. So I was very active on the community stuff, and on X, I was very, very active with the community. So 2020 August, my predecessors, the past leads, reached out to me, and they were like, they want me to take over the Google Developer Groups Accra because I'm already active in the space, and then I can manage it very well. So I took over in 2020 August, and yes, this is where we've gotten to. So the journey started right from school, and I have to enter into it because it got to a time I needed help to do what I was learning, and it was so difficult to get the help. I wasn't finding the community around to help me. Community was so scarce in Ghana, and most of the communities were like 2-3 meetups. You see 2-5 people just there and 10. Yeah, so it wasn't that popular and all that. So I decided to focus on that. Leave everything software engineering or building or programming and focus on building community, making it very big to help others to also learn. So that's where it started off from, and now I'm with the Google Developer Groups Accra.
Awesome. I mean, on the Google Developers Group story. So do you have any idea how it came out? Because for me, like my first Android app was through a Google Developer Club in school.
Okay, yeah.
That was in KNST. I mean, I didn't even know it existed. I don't know how I came across it, but randomly I came across like a Google Developer group, and that's how I joined. I don't know in Ghana. I mean, do you have any idea how the story began in Ghana? Because out of a lot of places in the world that Google are pushing, I mean, they are pushing some of these communities. I don't know how come, I mean, Ghana is still having like a vibrant community, and people from the Ghanaian community are going out and making impact in other regions. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Google Developer Group started as Google Technology User Group.
Okay.
GTUG. Yes. So that's how it started in 2010. Yes,
Okay,
in 2010.
wow,
It started
wow.
in 2010. So, I mean, it started something small. Most of the pictures that I saw were like, you will see 10 people attending events and then 5 and all that. Yes. And then when it started, it was just like more like pushing the Android stuff, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Yes. So a lot of people were, Android was then popular.
Yeah.
A lot of myself, I was also trying to learn how to build. So Android was so popular. So a lot of people joined the community just to learn how to build on Android development and all that. So fast forward in 2019, 2019, they're coming up when Flutter was now coming into the system. So as you mentioned, KNUST, yes, then there was also another club, just like in my school, also in KNUST. And then also the Google Developer Group, Kumasi, is also there as well. But with the KNUST, we have so many amazing stories from there, especially Paul Boama, who is with Stanbic Bank.
Okay.
Yes, as a software engineer. Paul was a chemistry student in KNUST, and he also joined the club like that. Also got interested in Flutter, and right now Paul is a whole senior software engineer on his own. So that's how it started, and I mean it's now spread. We have it in almost a lot of schools in Accra, Kumasi, Takrady, yes, and other regions. And then currently we have the Google Developer Groups in Tamale as well, which is also doing amazingly well. There are also communities, that's the school community ones, also in Tamale as well. So that's how it started, and then currently this is where it is now.
Awesome. So for people watching, probably you would think the Good Developer Group the developer group was for more of tech computer science students. Interestingly, it wasn't, because I wasn't a computer science tech student. I was like an agri student, and that was like one of the strong foundations for me in development, because I mean, all those teaching us, training us were students, and I was like, hey, I mean, we are here all going through our various classes, and these guys have been probably like recognized by Google to teach this and drive like the development products and all that across campus. That was, I mean, amazing, and looking forward to hear more. I know there are other interesting stories, but not to take all the stories from your mouth. Kwame, what about you? I know Ghana EdTech Alliance now is like one of the groups we look forward to, communities we follow a lot, because we've not seen this before, especially in the Ghanaian space, starting from a locally built organization. I know, how did it come about, and how have you been steering it?
Yeah, well, interesting story right away. But when you were talking, I was just thinking, is there any other like local group? Because Google is not Ghanaian or African, right? But then they've been able to create communities amongst young people to where there's a vibrant, culture and all of that. So I was just thinking out loud. But anyway, but the Ghana EdTech Alliance fundamentally came up because I, for one, I was trying to build an EdTech solution.
Okay.
And I was struggling. Oh good Lord, it was difficult. I mean,
can you share a bit about the solution?
Let's not even sugarcoat it. It was difficult because it felt like I was an outsider, building for people inside, and it was an interesting space. And then it hit me. I was like, I'm sure I'm not the only one, going through all of this, right? And then I began to go to events. I connected with different people, and I'm like, oh, you two, you're struggling too as well, So the thing, the term they say, misery loves company, right? So that's it. We pretty much came together to say that, okay, we probably need to have a community for us by us, right? If we are so passionate about what technology can do for education and even across other sectors, I mean, there should be a voice for EdTech, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that's where it pretty much started from. We started small, myself and the team, and we've been focusing on quite a few things, right? Championing local EdTech solutions. Number one, we are advocating, we want to push all the way to the government level, just so that when they're coming up with solutions, right, they're able to know that, oh, we actually do have actors in the space, right? Ghanaians who are leveraging on technology to improve education as we know it. And so, I'm sure all of you know Duolingo, everybody knows a Coursera, everybody knows a Udemy, but now I'm sure you people know a Kuno, right? You know a Kuno, you know an e-campus. I saw you interviewed Cecil. Shout to Cecil wherever he is. I'm sure you know a Deaf Can Talk, right? There's so many popping up in the space. There's an Asanka, right? An offline tool that allows anybody to be able to access educational resources anywhere they are. There's Wonder Space. There are so many in the space, right? We don't want a situation where we want to get to the point where when even government policy level is looking for a solution that can be spread across every district in the country, they'll be able to come to us, right? The Ghana EdTech Alliance, and say, Ghana EdTech Alliance, this is what we are looking for. Do you have actors in the space who have solutions that can solve the problems that we have in education in the country? And that's where it came from. And I mean, I think we are 2 years now.
Wow.
Or awesome. Almost 2 years.
Awesome.
And we've been pushing. I think I do have an advertising background, and there's this thing that we say, if I don't know you, I can't think about you. Right? All of the brands that we know them because they are in our faces 24/7. I mean, let me also say we are grateful to communities like Building Bytes, right? You guys are doing a great job at amplifying what's happening in the tech scene in Ghana, and because of that, the Ghana EdTech Alliance is able to showcase and also use that avenue as a voice as well. I see you're also interviewing bits and pieces of people within the EdTech space, which is really exciting, because I'm like, I need everybody to see what's happening in the space, but yeah, that's where it started from. This is where we are now. Thankfully, we are moving steadily. You hear of us, we will blow and blow very big.
I think you're going far. I don't know if you want to share a little bit about this. I saw there was this, I don't know if a branch, is it Tanzania EdTech Alliance? Is it a branch? What was the collaboration like? Was it like, how did it come about?
Oh, somebody has done their research. So I mean, again, myself and the team, we sort of figured a lot of the problems specifically with education are very similar. Right, I do have the opportunity to interact with quite a number of people from across the continent who are building stuff, and you just hear similar problems, right? And they also don't have the communities. Everybody's moving solo, trying to figure out how, and it's tough. It's a tough space. I began to have the conversation with 2 actors in Tanzania who are also EdTech founders. We began to have the conversation. You should have seen me having a number of Zoom calls from back to back to back, because the question is always, oh, how am I going to start? People were trying to figure out how they're going to go about it. And I'm happy to say, at least myself and the team were an example. We had, if you like, the blueprints that they could apply to start what's happening in Tanzania as well. And back and forth, they started it out. I'm sure you could tell the logos are quite similar, colors are quite similar. That's what partnership is, right? So we did that for them, and they're thriving. They're growing quite beautifully. I'm hoping to hopefully spearhead these chapters across other countries as well, just so we become, if you like, an African EdTech Alliance, with the different groups in between. Because, like I say, the context has to be laid that. For the transformation that we want to see on the continent, it's the human beings, right, that are going to contribute the value that they've gathered through education, bringing that to the fore, that is going to change the country, right? All of the places that we admire, Dubai, America, UK, now China, right? All of these spaces, it's the people, right? They have quality education, and so they are contributing their quota to building the country that they want to see. And I don't see why we can't do it, right? We are creating communities all over.
Yeah.
Why can't we meaningfully contribute to the country that we want to see? Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, what, let's say, probably Google has done for many years, we are seeing it start locally and being taken global. So that's an amazing work. Um, Getting into the conversation of how, I mean, communities have been making impact as well. Maybe I'll come back. Let me come back to you. In your experience, what were some of the experiences seeing how community can drive a particular tool, a particular movement, a particular adoption, a particular acceptance or drive? I mean, I know in the case of Google, there was a need for like Android, Flutter. So maybe you can prepare those story for me. But in your case, what was like the fuel for that? Because there always needs to be like something to build on.
True.
It can't be built on sand. There's some rocks needs to be under.
Yeah.
What was the basis?
I mean, just generally to improve education. I'm sure if I interview all of you, if I do have the opportunity to interview all of you, you have some school experience that made you go, "Why are we learning all of these things?"
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You now get to the point where people make certain claims like, "We learned Pythagoras theorem. What are we using it for?" Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's unfortunate because it's these basics that help us get to building things like apps and so on and so
Yeah.
forth. And even our day to day. But that goes to tell you that there clearly is a gap, right? We are not seeing theory linked with practicality. So you are learning because you want to pass exam.
Yeah.
That's a problem in and of itself, right? The other bit has to do with, if you like, teachers and the way they teach subjects. So pedagogy, for example. How are teachers maybe teaching algebra, teaching science, teaching chemistry in a way that gets students to dream, to imagine, to want to get to the space where they are connecting what they are learning to immediately coming up with solutions in their mind as to, okay, if I think about this, I can do this in my community. I can do this in my country.
Yeah.
There clearly has been that gap. Very popular. We've been having this conversation for God knows how long, where we always say at different events that there's a disconnect between academia and industry. Why is that happening? Right? Why are we going to school and we can't build anything? We can't create anything. We are waiting for people from outside of the continent to come and solve our problems. In a Greek, for example, right? There was this WFP report that suggested that Ghana loses $1.2 billion every year in post-harvest losses. And we are going to school.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Food is expensive, right? So like, and there was one too as well where they say that children between the ages of maybe I believe 6 to 10 are unable to read and understand. And it's very interesting. Somebody made a point to me earlier that you go on Twitter and you see the interactions. You make a post or somebody makes a comment,
Comprehension.
and the comments that come underneath just tells you that the person didn't understand what was said. Comprehension is a big deal. Do you understand? The gap between what you learn in school and its practicality within your locality, big issue, right? So that's where it came from, right? So now we are even talking about, right, how can we gamify some of the things that we learn, right? How can we gamify maybe a subject like algebra to get people to connect and understand algebra, right? There's so many things popping up now, even with the emergence of AI, right? Now AI is able to, in a sense, understand the pace of the students, right? With any topic, to where they can test them at the level that they are at 1,000 times till they get it. So all of these shows a certain upside when it comes to getting technology into the classroom. And if we do have actors in the space, from the space, who understand the space, coming up with solutions, leveraging on technology to improve the problems that we have in education, it's a no-brainer. So that's what moves me. That's what drives me. That's what moves myself and the team to want to amplify all of the exciting EdTech solutions that are popping up. Because if education is great, teachers are great, parents are great, learners are great, everybody's going to be happy.
Awesome. Shadrack, on your end, I mean, what's been an experience like for the basis of driving the Google Developers Group? I mean, I know probably at the time, maybe I don't know whether Android started. I mean, Android was the basis for the pre 2018, 2016 when I joined. But when I joined, I knew it was Android at a point. Then Flutter came. What's the basis of the Google Developers Group? What are the meetups aimed at impacting or transferring or drawing attention to?
Okay, so when it comes to GDG Accra,
Yeah.
So this is how we go. It goes with the trend.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you said, it used to be Android.
Yeah.
We went with the trend. So you will notice that the entire here, everything is Android event, Android this, Android this. I think I even met it. I remember there was one slide. Normally we get resources from Google for developers as well. So we are more under Google for developers, not Google itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have all our resources from Google for developers. And then I remember there was a slide on Android development, which was like, it was being pushed that particular year we are pushing everything Android.
Yeah.
Yes. And then that moment you also got interested in it, and it transformed you, or you transited from one angle to another, right? Yeah. Which has helped you through that. And then from there we moved to Flutter. Yeah. And I can say Flutter became very popular through Africa. Yes. Flutter became very big. Through the African developer ecosystem. Yeah. From Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, every African country coming in it, contributing to Flutter. So if you to give one example, when Flutter also came in, we started having road shows. We started having events on Flutter. Like the entire year, we're getting resources on that. And then But
by the way, not to interrupt, but for someone maybe watching who probably might not know what Flutter means, just basically let them explain. I got to experience like learn how to build Flutter during my mess days. So that was like the programming language, or am I right? The programming and the framework Flutter. That's how come we got to learn, because we were told with Flutter we can build for both iOS and Android to save time instead of building independently. So maybe you can have explained it, but still you can speak about it.
You've already spoken more about it. And then for you to have your apps look so cute, have that kind of interesting, fun,
experience,
when that kind of thing, the UI UX experience in it, you tap on it and you see some bubbles and things. So that's where Flutter came in to make these things awesome for you guys. So when Flutter came in, people were interested in it because it makes applications look so good. It beautified the application itself. So a lot of people got interested in it. And then a particular year we were pushing it also because it was on our calendar as well. So we were pushing it. By then I was even in my first degree then. And then most of my colleagues, Paul, Francis, and the rest, they were in KNUST. Francis and they all started, with the school kind of Flutter push movement. And these guys are all Flutter developers, Flutter engineers. Bright Etonam. Etonam was also Android. He also wanted to have some nice UI kind of view and all that. And he also moved into Flutter during that era. So during that era, a lot of people got into Flutter. A lot of people moved from where they are, from chemistry background, from biology background into Flutter. They were transisted, including even in Ghana here. A lot of people moved from different fields too. And we feel this is also an achievement for the community. And to say that we are in 2025 now, we've started with another one. I think we started with, we started last year because AI has come into existence. And then we started with the Build with AI. So that one was also going through. And I think last year alone, this year alone, we hosted like 3 Build with AI events, different locations, including the Google office itself. And then Google itself has also had AI Cloud Rules show where we talk about AI in cloud, in Google Cloud. So it has now become like, should I say, we move with the trend. Okay, so based on what is existing, that's what we also move with. Based on what the community wants, that's what we move with. And then before even the year begins, I ran a poll to find out from the community what are they interested in. And then you will notice previous years, it started. Android, Flutter was going up. Then now you can see AI and then cloud are trending on it. Because before you run your agent will still have to come from the cloud.
Yeah.
You have to build it on the cloud. So a lot of people are now moving into that field, moving into that aspect of development. And it's amazing to see people picking this up. People are building. One student reached out to me from the University of Ghana, who we are supporting at the moment. I bought a domain for him free. Bright, also from the community, is also helping them. And I'm still helping them at the moment. I created social media platform. So they created an agent, which is called Nginx. The agent actually builds the back end of an application.
Okay.
And then you can test the APIs. When you connect it to MongoDB, you can test the application backend. And it works perfectly. You can use it to build your application. You can let it build a complex database for you, either a school management system and it's really awesome. It's just like the normal boat and the rest we are all using, right? And this person was someone from the community who was attending our consistent AI workshops, and he came with this. And not only him, there are a couple of them who are building health systems and all that based on the consistent training that we are having for our program. So this next year, probably, I'm sure we are still going to push the AI because AI is still in existence and Google is still increasing the versions. So we are still going to push another version, or we are still going to push the AI same way next year again as the year is wrapping up. So this is us. This is how we also do our stuff, and then a lot of people are learning from it as well. A lot of people are gaining knowledge through what we are doing at the moment as we do it. Yeah.
Awesome. So I know in our parts of the world, I don't know other places, but in Ghana, some of these communities act as like validation or creates a form of like trust for people to know that, okay, this thing is real, this thing is impacting life, this movement can change my life, can be part of it. Because for me, I could recall that definitely either someone posted it on the status or there was a flyer post somewhere that told me, okay, Google is doing this, you can learn how to build this. And I know learn how to build it was a skill I was going to add to myself. And the fact that I went there, tried, the fact that I saw that there was a community behind it, I knew that, okay, this is a real thing. They're not like telling lies to anyone, they're truly doing something good here. The same way with other communities, whether the UX group, design junkies, and a lot of communities that are around, they act as validators. In your case, has there been any case where this might probably move on the negative side, like someone feels like, okay, this community looks dubious or they seem to be suspicious? How has that affected the adoption of maybe a tool you are driving, a digital ecosystem you're trying to push? Maybe Kwame, or you can come in. Okay.
So let me just make it real quick. I think for me, it was more like the personality. So, when I started, sometimes you can put something out and nobody will mind you. Yes, you put something out and nobody. Sometimes I have to go and beg someone to share it for me.
Okay.
So I'm like, Charlie, if you share the thing, give me for X or maybe. Because when I put it out, nobody wants to even look at it because they don't even trust. When I pick up the whole community stuff, I put something in there, nobody wants to even mind you because I think it's also a Ghanaian something. Ghanaians, I don't know how to say it, but that kind of perfection, I feel like, Charlie, I know more. So this thing, so I think that is also another issue that we are facing. Some people feel they know more
better than the one driving it.
When you post something like, let's getting started with Android or getting started with Flutter, what is this from this guy? I forget, or maybe, just because you are the one leading the community. So, I found my way out, and the only solution I had was to contact schools and build the community again. So I contacted schools, especially the clubs, the computer science clubs, and I built the community again. And at the moment, I don't struggle to even share anything. And then someone will tell you, I don't want to learn or something. Someone reached out to me from Takrady, this University of
Minds.
Minds, yes.
Yeah, Minds.
That's
and-
Charlie.
yeah.
You are like a god in the school. I'm like, hey, how? He said your name is everywhere. Like everybody talk about you, and like you people, you go to KNUST, people like they know you, they
Yeah.
heard your name. Yes, that's how I built my community. I started from, because I noticed the in Ghana, techies feel like if it comes from you,
Yeah.
then
Yeah, probably they're not an expert in
Yeah,
that. You
so
shouldn't
they
be the
don't-
one say, yeah.
so that's how it was. And right now, because I also went into the school to build them, these guys have now, we've grown up
Yeah,
with
they've
them.
grown up.
Yeah, they are all part of us now.
Yeah.
They feel like, yes, coming from this guy, yeah.
We can
But then
trust him. Yeah.
yeah, so that's how I breached that, and it's working. But that's how it was. It was very bad then.
Kwame, what's been your experience? Because I'm sure initially
Yeah.
Ghana EdTech Alliance didn't seem this attractive, this
Yeah.
vibrant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any experiences?
I mean, he touched on some very interesting points, but I think it's global, where everybody likes to see, like, show me, right? You say
Yeah.
you have this idea, show us, and then when you get to the top there, you also say, okay, if it's easy, do it and let me see,
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I guess that's the story, right? You have to start from somewhere. In my situation, there was this thing where, and I don't know whether it's a techie thing, but everybody is so
Superior.
silo-minded.
Yes.
I don't know where it comes from, but then but how I think about it also is, like, is it that we are so disconnected from our realities that when you are even coming up with a solution, you want to keep it under your bed and not let anybody know about
Yeah.
it? Like, I'm listening to this Google thing that you are opening up, and I'm like, my word. Now you're talking about Flutter. Now I know Flutter. Right? But the thing that we need to keep in mind there is that somebody thought about it, or a group of people thought about it,
Yeah.
and they made it available for everybody to use.
Yeah.
Right? Same for Android.
Yeah.
Same for iOS
Yeah.
as well.
Interesting enough, this afternoon I went for a session and somebody was there to pitch, and they were pitching me the idea, and it was like, I was asking them about it. And I was like, how do you do this? It's like, I can't tell you. I was like, I could probably Google this and find it, and the magic might be in the execution.
Yeah.
And you probably Google this and find it.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
we Googled it, but it's like, I mean, it's like that sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think that the magic is in the execution and not the idea.
Absolutely. I was telling I think two of the founders, EdTech founders, I was telling them that with especially the emergence of, AI and other emerging technologies now is less talk.
More
Right?
action.
Is evidence.
Evidence,
Like, what
yeah.
have you done? Oh, you have this
Execution.
idea. Oh, what have you done?
Yeah.
Oh, I did this in a week.
What progress? What progress? Yes.
Talk to me about what you've done,
Yeah.
not the idea.
Yeah.
Because now everything is pretty much there for you.
Yep.
Right? You
Yep.
just need to da. But have you done the work?
Mm.
So, and even speaking about it from the community building sense, right? That ChatGPT can do that for you.
Yes.
Right?
That is one of the places probably we are here to automate.
I don't think you ever get there,
Yeah.
because human beings are like, we are different,
Yeah.
quote unquote, animals,
Yes.
right? You need relationship,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
with what he said, it's relationship.
Yeah.
For you to get to the point where they mention your name in certain spaces and they're like, oh, you're like a god in the space.
Yeah.
I respect that because I know the work that you've put in.
Yeah.
It's the same for me as well. Like now, we are mentioning certain things now. People are saying EdTech and my name is synonymous with EdTech and all of those things. I'm like, hey, me, but it took work,
Yeah.
right? And it's still work.
Yes.
Because it's not one time hello.
No.
It's
Continue.
long conversations.
Yep.
It's doing favors,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
doing a lot of pro bono stuff.
Yeah.
when
Doing a lot
sometimes
of
you don't have to.
sacrifice.
Yeah.
And all of that builds that connection. It strengthens the bond, and you get to hear, their motivations as well.
Yeah.
Right. And even moving away from the developer side, let's go to the teacher side. Teachers have very strong communities.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea, right?
Yeah.
So now, even with AI and whatnot,
Yeah.
there's this general sense, and this is actually even globally, right?
Okay.
That AI is coming to take their jobs.
Yeah.
And it's like once that fear gets to that one person,
And they spread it.
spreads like a
Yeah.
virus.
Yeah.
They don't even want to hear it at all,
Yeah.
right? Or there's this perception, unfortunately, that anything technology is more work for the teacher.
Yeah.
That's the perception,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So now you are coming to them, telling them about this amazing EdTech tool that is actually going to help them streamline and make easy their process.
Yeah.
Nope.
You want to give them more work. Yeah.
But if one person buys into it,
On
the other side, like a virus, it spreads.
Yeah.
So it's, that relationship bit is something that has to be honed intentionally, because there are so many upsides to it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So I don't think Poga planned for it, but Poga, you've also been building a community, or we've been building a community called We Are Building.
Yeah.
And I know, like initially, we probably knew the first 50 people in the group. Now it's grown beyond people currently, like over 500, approaching 600. For you, what has been the whole experience of building? To the extent that trust is like a currency, because the first 50 people knew you. Yeah. How was it building it beyond them and gaining that trust?
So yeah, I think when we started, it was our circle. I think we had a community of some sorts. MEST was a community for us. Starting, but building it beyond that, I think for me the experience as the support has been great. You build stuff. I think just today I met somebody that said me from Building Bytes, and I think you build that stuff that people resonate with and they like, and you meet people every day outside and it's like, oh, you people are doing this, you're doing great, and like what you're building. So I think for me, building it beyond our circle has been building stuff that we thought was we thought should be done. I think the point still remains that if you feel like something is wrong, you should go out there and kind of solve it. So we are building something that we thought should be done, and beyond that, people also found value in that. So I think it's how we started, how it's gone so far. Beyond the community we had immersed, and we just built stuff that we thought has to be done. We thought the conversation needed to be have. We needed to come together to work towards projects, support each other. And I think people also resonated with that, basically beyond our immediate circle. And it's been great so far. We're building and people are liking it, and I think we continue building, basically.
Very quickly as well, I think the intentional brand building too is something that has to be highlighted, right? So like I said, a brand is pretty much how people perceive or think about you when you're not in the room, right? I'm sure most of us want to buy a German machine, either a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW, because it has certain very interesting perceptions in our mind, right? Same thing, right? Building Bytes, you started it small, now I'm here, right? Like I feel like I've made it, and that's the thing. That's intentional branding, putting out value, giving out value, connecting, wanting to see better than when you started. I think that was a very good point that you made, and I think that's something that should spread across, right? We need a lot more young people who are looking to bring about some positive change, right? There's this thing I typically say, that of all the places who could have been born, of all the places, is here, is on this continent one, and then number two is West Africa, Ghana, right? And I don't know, like in my mind when I think about it quite deeply, I'm like, whoever cast that die that put us in this space, there should be a reason,
definitely,
right? And for me, it's more, if you are here, then it means you are supposed to bring a certain light to the space, right? So like soldiers that are deployed to war-torn areas, right? It means that there's something that we are supposed to bring, and as much as possible, we need to educate ourselves as quickly as possible, just so we can bring that value, right? So when I hear, people saying they are unemployed, I'm like, what's the narrative in our schools? Right? Because there are so many problems. We are seeing a whole host of Chinese, Lebanese, people from America, everybody's coming here. But we are the people who want to run out. What are we missing? Because there are so many things, right? You guys could do this for maybe 3-4 years, no money coming in, but then you've built a community, you've built trust, you've built connections, right? Next, you get into a space saying, we need money to do this. Somebody will write you a check of 1 million Ghana cedis, and you keep it moving. So I think the message to the people watching.
Definitely.
These are examples going on.
That's a good
right?
message. So there's a need. there is a need to around communities. If you feel you don't know how to even build anything, there's a need to make that impact. It's interesting. You never run out of space in making communities. Like Building Bytes is not the first, probably a tech platform, a tech community. I'm not sure Ghana Tech will be the first. I'm not sure Good Developers will be the first. But you can clearly see that in all these communities, there is a value being shared. So when there is value, there are people who come close to the value. Maybe it's high time we also assess some of the things we do and see whether we are giving value. If we truly claim, I mean, we are doing that. But in your experience, sometimes in our building and driving communities, that sometimes there are some unsung heroes we miss out. Recently, someone was reached out to us and was telling us that he follows us on all our social media accounts. We should give his business on because he sees people who do not even follow us do that. So it was this clearly was like a valuable member who felt we valuable members should be treated in a certain way. Maybe this is an opportunity to shine light on some of the people we overlook. What are some of the unsung heroes you've seen in your experience, or people that you feel are key to the success of GDG for you or Ghana EdTech Alliance?
Oh, okay. Yes, it's good you didn't ask for just one person, but some of the people.
Yeah.
Mention names.
Maybe you can mention a description about them if you want to mention it.
Okay. So there is one who is also, I think she's doing well with you guys.
Yeah.
Aquile.
Yeah.
Aquile has been with the community. That's GDG Accra.
Okay.
For a while. She started as a volunteer.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just saw her one day. The way she was moving about. I think we were having a flatter event. She was moving about. And the way she was behaving, I just told her, I want you to host an event for us. That was like, I think 2 years ago back then.
Yeah.
I want you to host one of the events. And then she was like, how am I going to do it? I just, do this. Yes. And yes, so she's doing really amazingly well.
Yeah.
I mean, so she's mostly like always hosting our their first virtual events and the physical events. Sometimes she's part of the host. I mean, looking at how she has also helped the community from being a member to where she has gotten to. A lot of people know her now. A lot of people recognize the name. And then speaking of, just let me talk about just 2, 3. And then speaking of Bright Etonam, Etonam also was just like a member also from Android, started speaking at our events and all that. We gave him the space more to also push more of the talks. Went to Flutter, he was doing more of Flutter. We had more Flutter events. Etonam is now a Google developer expert. Etonam is no more sitting in Ghana. He's just roaming all over.
Interestingly, the first 2 people you've mentioned, Aquile and Etonam, I think they were at the GDG Berlin. Yes.
So Etonam wasn't at Berlin, because of the visa issues. He was supposed to be there.
Okay. But I know Aquile was at GDG Berlin. Yes. So interesting. Those communities are paving way for them in other places.
And she had the opportunity to speak at their first. I don't know if she's done or she's now going to speak. She sent me the flyer. She was so happy. I mean, from the tech community, this is where she has got into. They've recognized her there. As I said, Etonam is just moving all over the continent at the moment. Yes, I think I can't even count, but anytime I check on LinkedIn, he's in this country. He's in this country. He's in this country. And all because of the Google Developer Expert title I has gotten right from the community. And then not just him, but there are a couple of guys. I can't mention the names, but these guys are really doing amazingly well. And then I really appreciate them, right? Some were from school and then from school, and they've gotten into that level. They are really pushing the products. They are pushing the community on its own. As I said, people are getting to know the community because of these guys. Yes, and I can't mention all the names, but a lot of them, my team, if I should say my team, most of them were just members. Most of them were just members who were just attending events, and then we added them, Roberta, Eko, and the rest. We added them, and they are all doing awesome work now. So I really appreciate what they are doing.
Kwame, what about you?
Long list. I mean, for the Ghana EdTech Alliance, there are quite a number of people who, behind the scenes, some in the middle, some at the fronts, doing some good work in terms of something as simple as an encouragement, right?
Yeah.
Because it's I'm sure you guys are aware, you guys have experience, building a community from scratch is tough.
Yeah.
Figuring out what value you want to offer, etc., it can be very, very tough. But I mean, there are quite a number of them. I mean, for me, all the members in the Ghana EdTech Alliance umbrella doing some really amazing stuff. Kuno, Senyo, Joshua, Prince, Cecil, Kafui Prebi, Thomas. Like, it's just a long list, right? Long list. But when we speak about education in general, I would say that one of the identifiable unsung heroes are the teachers.
Yeah.
Right. We don't praise them enough. Teachers are at the heart of, if you like, education, right? And I just want to use this opportunity to give them, like, real shouts, right? Because we are talking about how we want to use technology to improve education and what's not, blah 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 blah. But we forget that there's somebody who is going to use that tool for the benefit of the learners. So the teachers are, the big ones for me, including head teachers as well. We've seen some who have been fantastic, because it's because of them that certain tools are being used in certain areas.
Awesome. Before you talk about, I mean, what you look to see in our digital ecosystem, I mean, the role of communities in our digital ecosystem, whether from your standpoint, whether from your, community specifically or generally, I want to find out what's unique about Ghanaian digital communities, so that probably for someone building a community or thinking or running one, who realize that maybe, it's not that it's the same everywhere, or it's similar. You can pick up one or two things there. What's unique about Ghanaian digital communities?
Are you done thinking? Or
Poga, okay. Poga, you have been a beneficiary of a community. You've been part of the Yali network, and you've been a big beneficiary. Maybe you don't want to make it seem so. What do you think made that community unique for you as well? Because I'm sure there are other opportunities you could have explored, but somehow you chose that, and you've seen the returns. Maybe this is not the end, but you've seen some returns on it for you.
For me, I think with the main thing or the core thing with community will be the network that it provides, and the opportunity that you could leverage on, right? I think Kwame, I think I reached out to you a couple of months ago. I think I was working with another Kwame about the products. Because we were all in the Ghanaian tech ecosystem, and we're sort of a community, we could reach out to you for advice. So something as simple as this, is the benefits that you get for such a community, and the opportunities that come. You mentioned the Etonam, being a part of the Google Developer Group, and the opportunity to be certified and be an expert and get to travel all across the world. I think these are like the value that come. You might not enter a community looking hoping to travel or anything like that, but the mere opportunity, as you said, you building a product and it was difficult, and getting to have people together to how do you the phrase you use, misery likes company. I mean, it's not like to wallow in misery, but to understand that this is a common challenge we face, and how do we come together to work together to solve that challenge. I think that would be like the core benefits, and something that's so far has been unique about the Ghanaian community for me. Basically, we could do better, but I think we're doing great.
I think networking is one unique thing about the community, and more of collaboration. Even though, as you said, we can do better. It's because people are still squeezing their arms with their products at the moment. And then, as he said, we can still do better. But I mean, it's coming up. I mean, people are learning to bring out their stuff, because they notice you bring it out, you are getting people to help you make it better. So I think collaboration is really growing a little, and I think it's good to see it grow, and it's good to see people share their stuff. On my platform it happens, and then people help each other to hold each other hand, and then we bring out maybe the products into existence for everybody to also so I think it's the collaboration I will go for, and networking.
Awesome.
I'll quickly say that I'll say the Ghanaians tech space has a wait and see attitude, right? Especially when it comes to like community.
Yeah.
I'll say we are working slowly there, right?
Yeah.
Because of the examples you gave, right? So I heard Yali, I'm hearing Google, etc. I think because these ones have, big brands, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
global, everybody
Yeah.
knows them, so it's easier to gravitate. So I think they have that positive affinity in people's minds. But then building locally, everybody has that. Oh, let's wait and see who these people are.
Yeah.
I think there's I don't know where it's from, but there's this inherent distrust for any local organizations, maybe apart from the political parties. I don't know how they did it.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, locally building a community to say that, this is the Ghana EdTech Alliance, it's a community for us by us. I want you to be a part of it.
Yeah.
There's generally, there's that first hesitancy.
Yeah.
Who is this person?
Yeah.
What is this thing about?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
It's there. I'm not even going to lie, right? So
Yeah.
you even put the group together, you post something that you found interesting. There was some comment about somebody saying something about technology and how it might not be beneficial for education.
Yeah.
And it will just, the group is just quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody comments.
Yeah. Not to interrupt. Recently, I was checking some of our recent followers. And it's interesting that some of them were people like we are very close to, like years before, let's say 2 years, 3 years before. But it was until like last month or this month that they started following some of the works we did, and I found it interesting. Like, I mean, these people have been around for some time. I mean, and they understand the thing. But yeah, like you said, that's it.
And it's just what it is. So I think for me, for myself and the team, the motivation is always, okay, what value can we offer, in a way that is meaningful to others?
Yeah.
Whether they like it or not in the beginning, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right? We should do what we have to do.
Yeah.
We'll get to the point where and it's like some of the examples, if I tell you, you'd laugh, because it's like there are some people who will never like the post, who will never comment, who didn't before, but now they did.
Yeah.
That says, okay, we've been watching.
Yeah.
So I think in building community, for anybody who wants to do it, I think you just have to be very focused on what it is that you want to do and what you want to see.
Yeah.
Put the outside validation and what people say aside.
Yeah.
Do it and let them see.
Yeah.
And when they see the value, they will come.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, in closing, Kwame, in the next 5 years, what do you want to see from whether Ghana EdTech Alliance or generally digital communities in Ghana be like?
That's a big one. With the way AI is moving now, can't even predict what will happen next month. But I do want to see a very vibrant community. I'm hoping that we can have chapters across, the regions.
Yeah.
And even like beyond, right?
Yeah.
So like with the Tanzania EdTech Alliance, for example, if you're able to have it all across, so Kenya EdTech Alliance, South Africa EdTech Alliance, all across, scattered all over. Basically a vibrant community that is tinkering, that is collaborating, that is coming up with exciting solutions that can improve education as we know it, right? It's like real impactful solutions that when we take to schools, boom, we are using it immediately. That's what I'd like to see.
Awesome. Shadrack.
So for me, looking at my community, for example, I'm looking at we leading the new emerging technologies, like AI. I think this AI in farming and all that. These are some of the new technologies we are also looking at leading. And then in the next 5 years, I'm looking at having people coming out from the community, building these products, solving real-time problems, and then as well as solving business problems, not just learning or not just coding for the money, but then coding or building to help industries and then the nation as a whole. So I'm looking at that kind of thing where everybody will say, yes, this thing was built by the community. Yes, the government will even come in, and then if anything, the government will approach the community to help.
Awesome. So in the spirit of community, I happen to choose one of the builders in our community, building a company. I think his name is Wolfgang. I met him recently. He was excited seeing us. Oh, these are the podcast guys. And he's building something called Parcelra, Parcera, Parcelra. They say it's a platform that lets international travelers earn money by carrying verified parcels in their luggage, while senders get shipping that's 70% cheaper than DHL. Think of it as the modern, secure version of asking a friend to carry a package home. So let's say if you're in other countries and you want to move a product, or maybe you have a biscuit or something you want to send to a nephew or niece that were verified, they do that for you. And they'll be launching on the 10th of November. And the app is on the iOS and Android platform. So if you're interested, you can check out Parcera so that your uncle or your auntie in the US can send you something small for you to have. It's still in the spirit of community. Where can people follow you? Where can people follow your work?
So I mean, definitely LinkedIn, Ghana EdTech Alliance. You can follow me on LinkedIn as well. Kwame Nyatuame, very easy to find. The head is shiny, you see it. On Instagram, you can get me on. My handle is EdTech with Kwame.
Okay.
I post a lot of stuff EdTech there. Pretty much.
Awesome. Shadrack, what were you?
For me, just Google my name.
I love that.
So that's what Shatawali said. So, but then for GDG Accra, just Google GDG Accra, and then you get all the information about GDG Accra.
Yeah.
But for mine, Shadrack Inusah on all the platforms, or Kujo_Shidi, Kujo_Shidi on Twitter, X. Twitter is X.
Yeah.
On X, formerly Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And then Instagram, Snapchat, or Kujo_Shidi. And then for the LinkedIn and the Facebook and the rest, you can just use Shadrack Inusah. Yeah.
Awesome. So thank you all for listening, for joining. Thank you our guests for sharing more on how digital communities are making impact in Ghana. We're excited about this, and we look forward to seeing significant national changes with communities in Ghana. Thanks so much. Like, share, follow. Let us know what you think about this episode. See you soon. Bye.